Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a really long time, but this is the beginnings of a very, very weird looking bench that I'm building from scratch. I don't know how it's going to work out. It's going to be a curved, semicircular bench 9 feet from tip to tip on that massive curve right there. It's big, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm a lot further than I should be before I started filming. Base of the seat, I'm going to build off of this. This beginnings of one of the legs, I don't know what they're really going to look like when they're done. This piece right here, the big curve is going to be along the top edge, and it's going to be sort of an Adirondack style. It's going to hold the slats that are going to be the back of the bench. It's complicated. Let's get into it and start building again, huh? The problem is this blade has virtually no curve. We'll try this one. They're all old, so they'll probably dull too. That's not gonna work very well. Brand new blade, Micarta guide blocks. Let's see what happens. I don't think I've ever seen a bandsaw cut that well. That was really impressive. Now, I said weird at the beginning of this video because it's weird to make. I think it's actually gonna look really, really cool, but I don't know yet. So that's gonna go somewhere in there like that. Now we're gonna throw a round over on these things because literally everything looks better with a round over on it. So I came up with the front piece design that I like, and I came up with the front leg design that I like. So we're gonna route all these and make them look all pretty. I did something smart for once, and I actually wrote on my bench where these pieces were sitting before, so I could put them back in exactly the same places, so I know it will look exactly the same as it did before. Now we glue and screw. This is the top of the bench. This is where this curve is going to go for the circle-ish thing. I screwed this together to get the same size. I need a pencil. Classic fine furniture tool. Not everybody knows that. Still pretty crowded, but a lot more space than it was. What do you know, it looks kind of like a bench. That's kind of cool. I feel like the whole thing is good. It's a nice relaxed angle. Like it's not super 90 degrees, but it's too far this way. It needs to go back, like there. It's supposed to be a really relaxed, chill bench. That does not look chill to me. We can pretend, right? And we do have to find center of this thing so I can mount my first support, and then we also have to divide that and put the other supports in, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. I do have one idea that I think is going to work pretty well, but we'll try it and we'll see. I'm going to take this fairly straight 1x4 and sit it on here. So now all we got to do is square off it, and I think we're going to be on this side. 54 3/4. Ah, I lost ya. Ah, totally lost you. Where'd you guys go? 3/4 of an inch over, 3/4 of an inch over, just like that. Pull it in. Hey, it actually fits pretty well. After getting our engineering report back, I decided we need a screw to the top here. There. Now it's part of it. Does this fit? Because it's important that it does. The curvature. Oh no, it's too short. I gotta make another one. Very different curve. I think what I'm gonna do is flip it over on its top and mark where those hit, and then find an average curve. Of course, before I try to put this thing over, I should probably put my supports in. That's got a fantastic idea. This is not the right curve for over here, for sure, but I can use these pieces to cut to put in here as my supports. And we'll cut it there. It's not that flexible. Balance. Kind of. Or each of these are on the floor. I don't know if you can see that pencil mark, but it's right there. We're going to put a screw right there as well. That's too far. And we'll put one over here. Straightforward. I got my number. It's like 74 and 3/4, 74 and 7/8. Now I can put a string on it and make a curve. This is actually perfect because I can show you how I made this before. I moved it. We're going to take this and use it as a guide through this. There we go. It's a curve. It's big. It looks pretty nice. Now you can see. Okay, so now you can see a full assembly. That looks better than some not curved pieces of wood I've done, and it actually looks pretty even too. I got a palm router with a 1/4 router bit. We're gonna run over this piece and make it look all nice because, like I said, round overs make everything look better. Forgive me, I put it on there without asking you, and it's not exactly the right curve. It's a little bit off. I'm sure I can wiggle it and make it fit. Look at that. That lined up, not screwed in. And this one lined up right there, not screwed in either. It just lined up. Bolt her in. So these are going to go here, on the bottom. There's a timber lock through there. It's going to go up here. Ow! Move that over. Not too deep. I could have glued these, but these aren't the more pivotal joints. Take off these corners so it actually matches the curve. So now we're going to do a step that would be entirely impossible if we weren't using treated wood. And I don't even know if it's possible with treated wood. It's not horrible. Now we're going to start working on the main seat, and I'm going to use these 1x4s for it, and they're not going to be curved, but they're going to be sectional, so it'll kind of still fit the sweep of it. That's pretty good. Okay, this whole seat is done. It looks great. And look, slats. So I made some things. It's supposed to look like an Adirondack chair, basically, which these kind of do. They're tapered. I made a tapering jig over there. And then we're going to have to make the whole thing curved from one end to the middle and then down from the other side. I don't know how I'm going to do that curve, but I'm just going to cut them all out. I'm going to cut them up 2 feet long, so this will go on the end. These are just scraps I had. Let me show you my tapering jig, though. It's actually pretty cool. A piece of plywood slotted in, and it's a pretty smooth, tight fit. It doesn't really wiggle, and it's just got this taper piece. So the 1x4 sits on there. Here's one. It sits on there like that, and then slides through, cuts taper. It's just wild how big it is. And like, I'm really surprised how good the curve actually looks. I almost want to try a fan design and like make the center one, make one in the exact center plumb, and then all the rest of them taper out at the same spacing. Like make it so the top is like an 1/8 inch out, and then as that comes along it'll go worse and worse and worse and look like kind of like a clamshell. But I don't think I can mount them very well, so that's not really gonna work. That doesn't work. Really good. It actually ended up, because the laser was a little bit closer than the very center of the circle, if this was considered a circle, it actually made it a tiny bit fan shaped, which is great. I wanted to do that. It just happened by accident, which is really cool.